we're gonna keep going in a row with these prog rock bands because I Met A Yeti is here, and they just dropped their new song, Red Eyes Be Yeti, and you're about to hear that real quick right before we jump into the conversation. How long have you been anticipating the release of this song? Because this is really good. I love the breakdown at the end. That kind of like really sold me on the song to be like an extremely aggressive track from I Met A Yeti.
A little too long.
Yeah, it's been a while. The song was written a really long time ago, actually.
Very long time ago. This and Opulence are like our oldest new songs, I guess. So there'll be more music that's newer than them coming out, eventually.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's probably what the idea is. I mean, usually when any band releases a song, there's always something following up to it, like a couple shows here, tours, this, that, yada yada yada. What is the game plan for Camp Yeti with everything now that this song is dropped? Is this like a sneak peek into possibly some kind of album in the near future? Like, what's going on? Because people are anticipated for this. This is really sick.
We have we're working on an EP. When are we planning on dropping it, Daisy?
Sometime early. I don't want to give like a definite answer in case like things get moved around again, but early 2022. It looks like it'll be very early 2022.
And you could definitely double down on touring with that too, because it seems like that's when a lot of the industry is somewhat feeling a little bit more comfortable to open up is after the holidays with like the whole touring schedule and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely expect us all around the U.S. early next year.
Is this going to be another band that comes on the podcast and gets signed within like a month of release? Why do I have a feeling that that's going to be a thing? I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, the popularity on Twitter is like very engaging, which is fucking sick. Like the community is definitely there too. So it's like we know who you are. You know what I mean?
As far as like record labels go, it's really just like, can somebody offer us something that's gonna like make like a big enough of a difference to, I don't know. There's a lot of factors. I shouldn't say it like that. There's like quite a few factors in that decision, but we'll see. Yeah,
well, I mean, you don't want to be ripped off. I mean, you just, if like let's like for instance, like if one record label hands you a contract and it's like, oh, I guess this is all we can take. Like, no, you don't have to take it. You know what I mean? Like that's not gonna. It's something that they need to like believe in, like not only yourselves but the art going forward with it and actually creating a career out of it to try to like really market the music and get it out there, in a sense.
Yeah. But as it stands, we're pretty efficient, with us and like our team. Our booking agent and like our marketing, our manager, like we're all pretty good as of now.
Yeah, that's good though. So the B stands for butt. Is that confirmed in the song title? Is that what's happening?
I apologize for that tweet. I'm sorry.
No, just like to take the question seriously. We were trying to be like faithful to how the Yu-Gi-Oh card is spelled in English, the Red Eyes Black Dragon card, and it's like they had to abbreviate the black to B to fit it on the card, so we abbreviated it to B for our song name too. Yeah,
because Blue Eyes White Yeti, obviously correlating to the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Dude, I miss those cards. I just talked with Tyler from Youth Fountain. He flexed all of his cards on me, and my whole nostalgia just like kind of got jealous because I just wish I had my card. Actually, I do have a pair of cards, but like I can't play them. Like I don't know. Have you played with the newer cards yet? Because they're like insane. Yeah. I can't keep up.
It's my favorite game. It's hard. It took me like a year to get like like fluent in like the language, but once I was, it's like an addiction that doesn't quit, I guess.
Like the whole thing with the monsters like evolving like really quickly, like isn't like how does that work? Like it's just like you throw one monster down and then like I guess if you have it in your hand, it's like an automatic level up kind of deal. Sounds like magic.
No, you have
Uh,
like two decks. You have like an extra deck and like a main deck, and then your hand, and you can like summon from your extra deck at any point, but you have to meet the requirements. It's like yeah, it's really complicated. There's like four different mechanics, all like
fuck.
you
That
know
sounds stressful.
happening at once. It's ridiculous.
No, I
I don't
love
mean to
that
bring this
game.
up.
It's hard.
Doesn't Blue Eyes White Dragon have more letters than Red Eyes Black Dragon?
I don't know. I don't exactly know why it's like that. I'm not sure. No, it doesn't. I don't think. I don't think it
I
does.
think it's like the same amount, like the exact.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
probably.
exactly the same.
Like
I
Then I'm
mean,
not
if
sure.
anything,
except for
if anything,
it's less.
Blue
Red
has
is less, I believe.
red is less. Yeah.
Well, I know it's called Red Eyes Black Dragon, like in the lore,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
the cards all say that, so I'm not sure.
I'm sorry. I just got caught up on that.
Yeah.
Word.
And Pulses said that that song definitely feels like it has more than 24 attack points because obviously it goes fucking ham. So
Oh, it's so good.
like that was like the
Just
perfect
comment.
fucking comment to that. I was like, dude, like, cause I missed this show, but like I said, Daisy, I haven't really kept up with this, so like having another deck already stresses me the fuck out. So I think I'm gonna like just stick to the old school style. If anybody plays that anymore, I don't know. Like I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, some people do.
But so in a sense, is what is the correlation between both of those songs with the drops of Red Eyes and Blue Eyes? I mean, because the one thing I really noticed in these videos is there's like imagery of a mirror in both of them, and I'm curious if that is like one of like the main points to the artistic like visual of these two songs in general.
They're like both about identity and like at different stages, I guess, of like life. So Blue Eyes is like kind of more like an optimistic side of identity and like kind of like more like a victorious part of like identity, and Red Eyes is more I think maybe more like valuable, but like more valuable in the sense that like it's a bigger thing to overcome, but it's still like it's a less hopeful song, I guess, if that makes sense.
No, it does. I mean, people interpret songs, lyrics, videos in ways that they want to, but there's also a definite answer from the start,
Mhm.
from the artist itself,
Yeah.
because they are the creator. So that's fascinating because it was like a really strong imagery that like I really saw in both the songs, because Blue Eyes was on repeat for me for a good amount of time. And so is this one. It's going to be probably just as much, if not more. But watching the music videos, it just has like a really good presence of that imagery. So I wanted to see if there was like some kind of like correlation to it, which is really fucking rad. How do you go, Daisy, like with lyrics and trying to portray a story in a sense with your writing material? Like how do you get inspiration from your lyrics and putting them to your songs? Like, is there like a specific process that you do? Is there a way that you get inspired from certain situations and then put them into your material?
Yeah, totally. It's different now than it was in Camp Yeti. Like Camp Yeti was like there was like a really like kind of loose concept. And I was a little more blunt about it. Like it's a little more apparent in like the lyrics. And until Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is the last song that I wrote for Camp Yeti, and I kind of like found a little bit of my style like while writing that song. Blue Eyes, this isn't like a really PG-13 answer. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, we can literally do anything we want on this podcast.
Okay, cool.
Besides play
Blue-
music that's not copyrighted.
Blue Eyes is about I got inspired to write Blue Eyes because I just took a lot of mushrooms.
Oh fuck yeah.
And I like kind of forgot who I was. I like hit the like ego death or whatever. And I'm not, encouraging people to do illegal drugs. Just I don't know. But yeah, I like did that. That was a long time ago, and then I wrote Blue Eyes like the next day. And about it's kind of about like the experience that I had while I was on mushrooms, and R- Red Eyes is like Red Eyes and Opulence are both more so like I got a lot of inspiration from watching movies, like pretentious artsy films, I guess, like David Lynch movies or whatever, things like that. And uh yeah, I like watch those and I like kind of like try to stress myself out on purpose when I write lyrics.
Hmm.
And then I like, like take a piece of paper and I like write down like a through line, like what is the song communicating? And then I write down like a metaphor for that. And then I write down a metaphor of a metaphor. And then eventually it's like, okay, I have like a bunch of different like ideas and I can play around with like words that I associate with these things on this paper. And I try to make it a little cryptic because I don't really want I really want like I feel like an integral part of like our new music, like my new lyrics, like lyrical style or whatever for this album at least, is like kind of trying to um force people to have like their own meaning of the song, but also like there be a little bit more to grab onto, like to like oh piece like little clues together of like what like I was thinking about when I was writing the song, while still trying to like make it musical enough for people to like sing along to, and so it's kind of a balance.
I
But
really like
that's like
that.
the current style. I don't know if that'll continue or like how far that will go. There might be songs that deviate from that on this album, so we'll see.
Hmm. No, it's fascinating because I mean, I don't write lyrics. I'm a drummer like Dev, but it's does procrastination kind of stress you out a bit in a way? Does that help or
Procrastinating?
yeah?
Oh,
I
I
don't know.
definitely do.
Hmm.
Because like I feel like I take when I do write our lyrics, it takes me like so long and I will like I'm like unhealthy about like the creative process. So I'll kind of like not do the other things I need to do in my life while I'm writing lyrics. And like so it's really hard to like put myself in the situation to like write music. And that's part of why this album's taken so long. It's just like their parts have been done for a little bit, but mine are like still only halfway done. But we're almost there. I'm like really inspired right now. I've been working on new music these last 2 weeks quite a bit.
I love that. Well, I mean, you can't force art, dude. I mean, first of all, like it's the fact that like the whole like thought process behind it is the way that you portray your lyrics, and that's like that's I've never heard that before, and I think that's fucking fantastic. Also, um, I have done shrooms like 4 times, so I might try to take a dab into being a vocalist because like
Yeah.
I've had
Don't
some
try to
really
write
good trips
lyrics while
lately.
you're on them. I
Huh?
tried to write the Blue Eyes lyrics while I was on mushrooms,
No shit.
and I just had like a small panic attack during one.
No, really?
It was so bad.
How much you eat? Like an eighth? Because
But
I
I
usually
like
eat an
wrote
eighth in
down
dose.
some really bad lines. Oh, what's up? I'm sorry.
No,
You
it's
cut
okay.
out.
No, this is the whole thing with Skype. I can't wait to do this in person. How much do you eat like in one sitting? Because like usually I eat an eighth and like I'm good.
I don't remember. I think I did twice. What is it? What is 2/8? I did like what is
Mm-hmm.
that? Is that like a
A
quarter? What's a
quarter.
quarter? I
Yeah.
think I did a quarter for Blue Eyes. Um,
Wow. Wait.
but
Yeah.
that was my mistake kind of, but I still had a good time. It was just a little darker than I expected it to be.
Fuck yeah.
I don't
There
know.
was one time I did eat
I
like
had
because
also not done mushrooms before that. So it's like
that makes sense too.
that's being
Yeah.
dumb.
Were you by yourself when
Yeah.
you did it? Because like I did it with my friend,
Yeah.
but like yeah, I did it with my friend weirdly in Florida because it was so easy to get them in
Yeah.
Florida. So we just like went for a walk in Clearwater and just like went to the Gulf. There's like a bay or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, the one time I had a bad trip, I was like fucking sinking into my bed. I was like, I know this is fake, but this kind of sucks, so I'll just get over it. I guess I don't know. Like,
Pretty much. I
yeah.
like started to do that. I like lied down and like closed my eyes. And then like I just started hallucinating. And the hallucination is like what I wrote Blue Eyes about, basically.
Oh, it's so sick. Yeah. And that's what people don't get, dude. Like there's so many ways of like getting inspiration into music in itself. I and everybody's always going to have their own way. Like people looking up to I Met A Yeti and trying to see like the process and like the way that bands are being able to craft their own genius into their music, like that everybody's completely different. There's really no right or wrong answer. Sounds like it's just like it's just like more of an experience. Like my vocalist has different perspectives of writing lyrics than the next person. I think my vocalist took acid when he was trying to do lyrics for the upcoming album that we're doing. I'm like, cool, dude, whatever you gotta do, like that's fun. Like, what's going on? Like, so I don't know. It just can be, it could just be different. There's just so many different ways of like being creative in your own mindset, and then like trying to portray it on a piece of paper, and then putting it into the studio and all that such. But we also found out behind the record that we have a lot of friends in common, like Andreas. So did the band fly out to California for that show? Because it was like a one-off show in California, right?
Yep.
Full band?
We flew out. Whole band.
No way!
Yeah.
I love that. Andreas is the fucking man. I love that dude. How was it?
I had a great time. It was a great show. Good turnout. Andreas had played in Orlando a couple weeks prior and had asked us then if we wanted to do it. And we're just like, yeah, let's do it.
So everything was backlined, I guess, in a sense. So you would just bring.
Yeah, we just brought merch. Like we literally just went, and they had everything there for us.
The essentials, yeah, because that was the show with Strawberry Girls, right?
Mm-hmm. That was the one.
Yeah.
We actually played an acoustic set for that show, funnily enough.
Ah, no shit. I just think like the whole process of like meeting other musicians in this industry and everybody like really getting into each other's music is so fucking fascinating, because like considering like I Met A Yeti is still on the underground level in a sense, but it's really not. It's starting to become more of like a higher tier than some of these bands out there. You see a lot of other bands that are successful, touring full time, whatever. Like they're really bringing us up. Like you gotta fucking be kidding me. They're so good. So I praise that to Andreas, and like we just got really drunk and talked about Star Wars the entire time on the podcast. So I can't wait to fucking hang out with that dude. But and then you have 3 shows in Florida though. So is that like that's your weekender for November 7th through the 9th? That's like technically your first weekender of the year.
Yeah.
A weekday weekender.
And who's that with? Who are you touring with?
Happy Hour and Lilac Kings.
Oh, that's right.
We weren't supposed to be on the tour, but it's all in Florida, and we were gonna play the 2 middle dates, and then the next show the promoter's like, hey, I really want you guys to play, and I was like, oh, are you sure? We don't want to be, like tour crashing, but the promoter really wanted us to play, so now we're on 3 of the 4 dates.
Fuck yeah, of course you're gonna crash the tour. It's just gonna be a big old party. Like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. So everybody's kind of close to each other in Florida, in a sense. Like, nobody's too far apart from one another.
I feel like it only takes 3 hours to get to Miami from Orlando. So I feel like if you were to drive from like North Florida to like South Florida, it would take between like 8 and 6 hours, depending on what side you start and end on.
Okay. No, that's good though. Yeah, not saying specifically where you're from, because we don't want people like, stalking you or anything. I don't tell people where I'm at on my TikTok. Like, that's the last thing I need to do is people finding out where I live on TikTok, because I don't need strangers at my door and be like, oh, you're that guy? Like, no, I don't want to. No, we're not doing that. Not doing that today. So.
Yeah, we're pretty publicly like an Orlando band, That's like where I Met A Yeti is from,
Yeah, no, that's super cool. I just feel like that's also good for convenient for rehearsal and stuff. So it's like I've seen a lot of bands that usually do like they've tried the online rehearsal, which hasn't really worked as well. But that was also during the pandemic. And then I've seen bands like Conquer Divide who come together and they have like that one long rehearsal for like a weekend or so, and then they go on their tour run or something. So and where is I Met A Yeti recording for this album? I know like the instruments and stuff are done, but like technically, like where is who are you working with? Is this technically someone who you would consider like another member of the band to help you produce and like really build some structure behind these songs?
He's definitely like our secret weapon for like
Nice.
recording. His name is Matt Goings, and he records in Daytona Beach, Florida, under Killian Studios. he he mostly like doesn't change anything musically, besides like some vocal stuff. Like he gives me coaching with vocals. We've been like close for a long time, even before I was in Yeti. So um I've done like a lot of singing and recording with him. So we're close enough for him to, critique me and coach me and stuff. So it's nice. Nice to work with him.
Kind of jealous.
Yeah, he doesn't touch anything like structurally, but he will have opinions, and we'll be like, you know what, let's do that. And like we have this breakdown, this one song where he told us to keep we record our songs to guitar profiles, and he like said that he liked the sound that we made on the Guitar Pro, so he's like, we're keeping that sound. It's like, we're not tracking it, we're gonna keep that sound, that's gonna be on the album. And I'm just like, all right, let's do it.
No, I love that because there's that extra set of eyes and ears is sometimes necessary.
Yeah,
like when we did our debut album, I really needed my producer because I was all over the place. I was basically like doing like Wonder Years drumming, which is like there's no concrete beat. It's just all over the place. He's like, come on, dude, we gotta do he's like, the song is 4/4. You're not getting crazy technical. I'm like, okay, we'll do our best to try it. And some bands, like, I think it's cool with, like, when I just talked about Conquer Divide, like, they go to Joey Sturgis as their go-to. And they have another producer that they work with as well, which I forget their name, but I think it's fantastic that, like, bands that, like, find that identity within themselves also have that well-rounded producer on the side to, like, really thrive the sound. And it's just, like, yeah, it's rare. It's rare. So, like, Magnolia Park has Andrew Wade. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? He's like one of the original goats. Like, that's so sick. And there it's I Met A Yeti, Magnolia Park, Pulses, With Sales Ahead. There's a couple other bands on Twitter that there's like a really, really cool conversation going on. And Tony, you were telling me that Freddie also used to be in I Met A Yeti, which is crazy. Wait, I didn't know that.
Freddie's the founding member, or one of the founding members of I Met A Yeti. We're still really close with him. I was just on the phone with him, congratulating him on, the Epitaph signing. Yeah, Freddie's a homie. And everyone in that band's really cool too.
Yeah, I talked to Josh and Jared, like, slightly. Well, Jared was on the podcast, so I talked to him for a good hour or two. Josh, like, joined, but he didn't have an Apple phone charger. So he was kind of beat. So I was like, all right, dude, I'll catch you next time when you're in like Philly or something. I don't know what else to do. That's so crazy. So with the music industry in itself now, how it's been completely different, and it's definitely evolving over time. Because I remember a couple years ago, it used to be like, you tour. Then it was popularity on social media, like Facebook, like early, like 2010, 2013, and even before that, MySpace, which, like, we can all remember that. And then it became to mostly Spotify numbers, which is also, like, kind of circulating into more social media popularity along with those numbers. And I think the perfect example is TikTok, because TikTok has, like, been able to give, like, this platform, in a sense, like myself and Dev, to really express, like, our creativity. But it also, like, is crazy that the engagement, like, correlates with what you're doing immediately. So has that changed at all when, Devin, you started doing the TikTok and, like, you started getting, like, actually, like, very, very viral within, like, a handful of videos to, like, thrive not only your content but Yeti's, like, original music for what you're promoting?
I think the only thing I ever noticed there was a difference with was just like monthly listeners, but it was only like at one point where I had something do pretty well on TikTok, and then I like checked the monthly listeners and it was like a bit higher than it was like the day before or something like that. But other than that, I don't know, it seems to have not really Maybe it has, but not in a very visual, way.
in a significant way, because I'm definitely trying to figure it out. So like I only mentioned my band a handful of times, and thank God the one video that did well, my band was also in it. However, it seems like a lot of the people that follow us on that app, it's not like they really want to know. Not like I would want to say like maybe 70 to 80% don't care what we're doing on the outside. Like they care what we're doing right there on that app. It's very interesting. I could be wrong, but it seems like if I don't talk about or like try to do something that correlates to my music, like it won't really be, they won't really go to it unless if like they just search for themselves. Like they go to the link in the bio and then like, oh, he's in the band. Like who's this? Oh, they're sick. Like I'll follow them, whatever, blah blah blah. But like, have you experienced anything where like in the comments where like people are like do Yeti stuff, like anything Yeti at all?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been comments and stuff from people like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I didn't know that you were the drummer for I Met A Yeti," or something like
Yeah,
that. Just
we
kinda
had a
cool.
couple of those, and even if the conversion rate's like really low, I still think like it matters. Those are people that like possibly never would have heard of us.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean, and even if they don't like consistently listen to our music, it's still like it
our name's
was like
out
a
there, you know.
little bit of exposure to a new person.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, you know what I might do? Dev, I might change your voice into some kind of like auto tune because nobody's heard your voice on TikTok, and I don't think I want to be that person to expose your voice.
They just don't know how to search.
Is there like a very rare video of you saying something?
Just like a lot of my older videos have my voice in it.
Oh no shit! I didn't know that. See, I'm
Yeah.
not doing my research.
There's been some people like who've been like, his voice is in the older videos.
Oh yeah. How long have you been doing it for, dude? Like
Not
like
very long.
really?
Like
it's been a couple months.
See, that's crazy.
You
I
don't
like
hit it.
stopped for like a hot second,
Yeah.
and like it still feels like it's been forever, but I've only been doing it for like 6 months.
Yeah,
Um,
Devin didn't tell us when he was going viral. We kind of just like found it, and then he's like, "How did you know?" Like, it's like you're on my For You page like all the time, dude. Like,
What was the idea of changing? Did you used to rehearse and like you've changed your rehearsal spaces a lot? Because I'm looking at April of last year. It looks like you're
Yeah,
in like a garage or something.
yeah, I practiced in a what's it called, storage unit,
Storage unit. That's what I was gonna say.
I wasn't
Yeah.
because I wasn't able to play because I lived in an apartment.
I hate that. Dude. I know what that feeling's like. Even with the practice pad, like a DW4 piece setup, like even like
Yeah.
you kicking like is too loud for somebody like
Yeah,
around your
exactly.
area.
I had like a long time ago I lived in a different apartment and I bought like all those quiet heads, the mesh heads and the cymbals with all the holes in it, the low volume. And like I got it all set up and I like hell yeah, I'm gonna be so fucking quiet and be practicing all the time, and then like 10 minutes into me playing, like the cops knocked on my door. Fucking stupid.
That's like really over the top for no reason. Like
Yeah.
couldn't like a simple knock on the door be like, hey, you're a little loud. Like, can you not? Like, it could be like a noise ordinance. Like, but what? Like, calling the cops is like fucking blown out of
Yeah,
proportion.
it was like literally no warning, just like, hey, you're gonna stop this right now forever.
That's absurd. I would love to know who fucking called that on you because I would like to call them out because that's fucking bullshit. Like, literally just knock on the door and be like, that's a little loud. Or can you do it between these hours? I actually had someone that was like, can you do it between these hours? I was like, yeah.
That
I
would
could do
be
that.
amazing.
But
Like if somebody cared that much to like work with you.
yeah, but something he got really sick and I couldn't do it anymore. It's like, hey man, this happened. I can't do this. Like, you gotta stop. I'm like, fuck. I get it. Like, I get it. But I think it is a perfect example of like trying like to because over time you've changed your visuals. Now you have this like crazy sick fucking background with there's like a telephone behind you, neon sign, plant, this and that. Like I'm sure that's helped, right? Like it's starting to look
Absolutely,
really fucking like engaging right off the bat kind of thing.
Yeah, I just figured that the more visually pleasing the video is, you know, the more somebody would want to see it. So
Yeah, true. Plus, you're doing really sick covers all the time. Thank God you did Say Us in 7 years. I was like, yes. And then, plus your jokes are fucking hilarious. Calling out the haters.
Yeah.
Doubling down. Fucking love that shit, dude. You're funny as hell with that stuff. Fuck, dude. I was like, get him. Get him. What's it called? So with this single being released and everything, dude, first of all, this song is like extremely incredible. Like what would, in like a whole retrospect of the band's like visual idea, what is next entirely? Like, I know you're going on the Weekender and such. Is like full-time touring an idea come 2022? Is label shopping an idea? Because this band is technically very, very capable, and I would believe it 100% that they could go DIY without a label, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess more we'll do it better as the EP and like more music comes out. With every release, things always change, so we'll have a better understanding of what, like, you know, what we have in store for our future once like this song's out and once the rest of the EP is out. But in terms of touring, we all pretty much agree that we enjoy touring, and touring like at least like, or at most like 6 months out of the year is like, you know, definitely like in the conversation.
Maybe a tour with Magnolia Park.
Ah, possibly.
Or
Yeah,
the homies up
maybe
north.
some other artists, you know.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
homies
yeah.
up north with Sales. Or Pulses. When we played that show last couple weekends ago with them, both, first of all, with Sales ahead, I already know fucking kills it, so I don't have to worry about that. But it was the first time I ever saw Pulses live, and they were fucking amazing. Like, in a DIY venue, I was like, what the fuck? Like, where are these bands? Like, why aren't they? Why am I not seeing them
Yeah.
so often on these fucking major tours? So,
Touring
We're
posters
talking
would be
about it.
really cool.
oh,
Yeah, it would be really cool.
fucking hey,
With
let's
sales ahead, touring with both
go.
of them would be super.
Yeah.
tight.
And Joe's side gay coffin culture, fucking badass as
Yeah.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
I would love to get on the road with everybody, like with this band. Dude, the opportunities are there. I mean, it's crazy too because with between all of us collectively, there's no similar sound besides the prog to it. And there is like a small identification of a genre called Swancore. Now, like, I had that playlist, but like, I think I'm only doing it because of like the reason why I'm doing it is because not only do I have the actual Swancore artists that are signed to Blue Swan Records and that stuff on there, but just to correlate the sound like with other bands that like have that similar way of that production of music and like those styles of writing. Do you think that would ever be some kind of like mainstream title like Swancore? Like, because it's very specific, but like my idea and my job is to like do my best to expose bands that like have similar sound in the best way that it's possible. So like that playlist has a good amount of likes. It's like, all right, well, there's similar sound to it, so I'm just gonna put it on. So you think Swancore would ever be mainstream? I don't know. I feel like it's just like very specific to like that group of individuals.
Yeah, I think there's like a this is a little nerdy. There's like as of now, a ceiling on this type of music. I would say like in terms of Swancore, it's like Dance Gavin Dance right now, you know, with like their 1 million plus like monthly listeners. But in like the wider scope of it, like if you think of post-hardcore,
Right.
I think of bands like Pierce the Veil. They're huge, you know. They're like they're bigger than the genre that they're in, and I think bands like that and bands like Dance Gavin Dance will just get more people into this genre, and we'll have people like explore more artists within, like, you know, smaller bands, you know, bands like us, bands like Pulses, bands like you know, everyone that we've talked about on this podcast.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it's oversaturated though. I think it's just like a good idea to like kind of have a reference to similar sound. Like if somebody
Yeah.
knows that name Swancore,
Yeah.
then you'd be like, all right, well, I'm gonna reference you this band. It's similar.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps because like I also have a playlist. It's just called post-hardcore, but yeah, it's generally bands like in this like with this sound and there's like post-hardcore is such like a vague. It's almost like saying rock music, you know?
Yeah,
There's so
exactly.
there's so many like different like subgenres within it. So in a way, like Swancore probably is like the most specific term we could use to like identify with.
I'm waiting for like I'm waiting for this industry to be like technically genreless. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's
I mean,
coming close
is.
to a reality because it makes more sense that like you can put them into similar sounds, but once you start getting into the subs, it kind of gets a little complicated. Like the perfect person I said that was like Billie Eilish, and she's like, I just can't really fucking put a name on the genre on this, so it's just music to me. I'm like, I feel that though, because that's technically what it is.
I feel like there's been so much like cross like fusion types of music that has been going on in the past like 10, 20 years that like there's gonna be like either no genre or like no genre and then like a whole new set of genres that's just like I don't know, just like the new generation, the generation.
Generation. I
Jesus
like
Christ,
that.
Devin.
It's just crazy. It's just like I never like thought of when she said that. It was like one of her. Oh, you know who it was? She was talking to Billy Joel Armstrong from Green Day, and she said that, and he's like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Oh, who said it? Or...
Billie Eilish said that to Billy
Oh, okay.
Armstrong, and was like, and you know, that like she was like,
Oh.
I don't think the genre there should even be a thing. I'm like, no, I kind of agree. Like it doesn't, because it's starting to like mesh around. Like, let's not call Imagine Dragons rock. Come on, dude. Like, that's the last thing.
Wait, Billy Joe Armstrong, like Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong?
Yeah, like she had an interview with him or something, or he interviewed her.
What? That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, that's like weird, and also it's weird because like
What a generation gap. Like,
yeah, massive generation gap. I'm pretty sure like Green Day's last album, they're like no like I don't know, they're just like they're saying some really like
Yeah,
Like-
they were like a meme for a
They were-
second, right?
yeah, they were getting memed on because they just said some bullshit. I don't even remember what it says. Something about,
Really?
Like, no like 808s or like no trap beats or something. Like, just you know rock and roll, and it was like on their album cover or something, or like it was like on their promotion of their album. I'm like, dog, your age is showing. Like,
Celebrities aren't people anymore, you know?
It's like disassociated from the music industry because they've literally been pop punk. And I wonder if I told Billy, I was like, dude, Armstrong from Green Day, but like, yeah, dude, I love your band. I love your pop punk band. Like, we're not pop punk. And it's like, well, you're popular. So it's like fucking like punk rock, fucking I don't know,
Okay.
dude.
their songs are pop structured. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like, I love Green Day.
I
absolutely-
love Green Day, dude. American Idiot like fucking like thrived me as a child. Like, and
Yeah,
then that
right.
made me get into their older shit too. Like Dookie was also another one. But yeah, so that was that conversation with them, dude. It was just like, no, that makes sense. God, he probably felt so old. He's got to be in his. Hold on, let me think. He's definitely got to be in his 40s. If I'm 29, because if my chem, they didn't hit 40 yet. Oh, they're about to. Frank Iyer is about to hit 40. He's 39, so
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
nah, that's crazy. It's like a whole generation
Black
gap.
Parade's like 15 years or something.
Did any of you buy tickets to their concert?
Nah, I already knew they were gonna be expensive. I was
Yeah,
like,
they
I'm
go.
not
I returned mine.
not interested.
I returned mine. It's too expensive. I needed to eat for the week during a pandemic for sure. I couldn't fucking. Come on, man! It's nosebleed seats and it's like $250 a person, and I'm like, God damn! Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a rule that I won't go to concerts that are like more expensive than $20.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's no difference in like I'm not doing it. Like I could see like a band that like I probably like just as much, if not more, for like a third of the ticket price for like some larger band. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go to that one.
But what if it's
There's
like
a show next
legend?
week.
What if it's
I don't
fake?
care.
Like a legend.
Well, the only band that I spent like a lot of money to go see twice is Linkin Park, and
Mm,
I don't really regret that. Like that
yeah.
was like the only stadium show that I've gone to, so I'm
Well, I
glad.
did that when I was in high school. I just mean like
Uh,
now that I'm an adult and I like pay
yeah,
for my own stuff, you know?
Yeah.
yeah,
Pay our own bills, pay our own rent, and that's such. Fucking dude, like the Pure Noise. I think I paid like $30 for a ticket, which I didn't think was that bad, but the merch was fucking super expensive. So
yeah.
I couldn't buy merch. The only thing I could buy was vinyl, which was like $20 a pop. But
You know that venue's taking a cut.
yes, dude, that's what I'm saying. I was like, there's no way. I was like, whatever this contract is, the venue's definitely getting a cut because I think a hoodie was selling for 50. I was like, no, that's not how this works. Nobody's gonna buy your shit, bro. Like nobody. $50? Come on, dude. I gotta fill up gas in my tank to get to the city for $50. I'm not buying a hoodie for $50. Oh, that's crazy. Um, what is the main influences behind Yeti? Which like musically, like individually or as a group?
The Fall of Troy,
Oh yes.
Easy, Laces Out Dan intro definitely inspired. Loomy Gloom intro. It's like the same thing. Fall of Troy, I love a Fall of Troy. Pierce the Veil, and this band called Teen Suicide. Those are my three favorite artists, and inspire me within this band and like just like musically in general.
My favorite band of all time is Coheed and Cambria.
Let's go. Oh yeah, you do have a Coheed tat on your forearm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that has to play a role, but I don't feel like it actively does. But like I have to like shout them out, you know. So like I'm gonna say Coheed, definitely Animals as Leaders. Matt Garsco's gotta be my favorite drummer. He's fucking insane. Eric Moore is another one of my favorite drummers. He super inspires me. Jazz music. And that's it.
I'm just gonna give you like three vocalists that are inspiring me like right now.
Mhm.
Or actually, I'll do four. I'll say like Andreas has definitely like inspired me. Because I just listen to his music like a lot. It's like really easy to listen to, so it's like subconsciously I'm picking stuff up, you know. I like Kurt, the way Kurt sings. I always have. He's like my favorite of the DGD singers, and like pretty much anything he's on, I think is like pretty good. Um, Andy Cizek from Macari, I took a vocal lesson with him, and I listened to his voice, and I ask him questions sometimes, quite a bit. And anything he's on is good. And there's a smaller band that I want to shout out because their vocalist like directly inspired Red Eyes. This vocalist named Trevor from a band called What Haunts You. And I was listening to some of their music as I wrote Red Eyes, and I like heard some stuff like in the way that he writes his parts, and I was like, oh, I want to try that. I want to like do that, but like my version. And one of the bridge section of Red Eyes, right before the breakdown, is like super inspired by the way that he sings. And I'm sure it sounds different because like I'll never sound like a different vocalist, like it's my voice, but you know, definitely a big inspiration.
Fuck yeah, that's cool. No, but I do listen to Yeti. I could definitely take your vocals out and be like, I don't know what else she sounds like. Like, there's no comparison. It's very rare that I can do that, like compare vocalists to one another. But you do have something distinct. Do you use Melissa Cross? Like, how do you do your warm-ups? Because like you do a lot of grit into those screams, and like obviously they're very fucking powerful. So
Right after we released Camp Yeti, I did a lesson with Andy, and Andy has done a lesson with Melissa Cross, and he kind of gave me her vocal warm-up routine.
oh nice.
I added like some small things that I found outside of that through friends to my warm-ups. And ever since then, I've been really, really good about warming up because it's just made such a huge difference in my vocals. The warm-ups that I did before that were like relatively minimal. Now I have like a 20 to 30 minute routine kind of that I go through, depending on how long I want to take going through everything.
Yeah, that's a long
But
warm-up.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's like that's like at the peak of its length. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I do take quite a bit if I can get it. If I have like time to like warm up, then I'll take as much time as I can get to like really feel comfortable before I get on stage.
Well, do you
But
do
when
the
you're on
vocal?
tour,
Yeah,
oh,
do you
sorry,
do the
go ahead.
vocal rest too, where you're like don't really talk for a certain period of time? Like, do you ever like use that and like do you ever take that into consideration? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I think about it. It's just
Yeah,
like sometimes it's hard when we're on tour, just
yeah.
because we have to communicate about like, like where we're eating, like who's driving, all those things, dumb stuff like that. So
She got really
I
good at
try
sign
to.
language last
No, yeah.
It's a
time. No,
lie.
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say because you should teach me a couple of things because I have no idea how to do sign language. Well, I just found out the other day that that's why Michael Jackson had that very, very like very soft voice because he was actually vocal resting the entire time, like no matter who he was talking to, which is insane. Plus, it's also like his natural voice. So
That's really interesting.
yeah, I just learned that the other day. I mean, King of Pop is not really like talking normally. It was like it sounded like he was like kind of like whispering in a sense, but now it all makes sense. No, because collectively, I mean, it's fucking awesome to see Yeti putting out new music. I mean, the hype for it is really sick. Everybody's anticipating the single drop. So when this episode drops, obviously the song is out. I already got a chance to listen to it. It's fucking sick. And if this is what anything the EP is going to sound like, I think we're going to be in for a really fucking special treat for sure. So what is it, like 5 songs, 6 songs, something like that on the EP? Maybe.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like that.
there's like 6 possible songs, but we're figuring it out. We might cut something. We'll see.
6 songs, all
Let's save
6
it.
minutes and 66 seconds long. Actually, that's nearly impossible. What the fuck did I just say? That was really unintelligent of me. That
It's like
can
that
never
meme with
happen.
the like if it sounds like that meme where it's like if Jeff Bezos has $200 billion, if you give everybody $7 billion and he still has 193 left over or whatever. It's like
It's
ridiculous.
so funny because I read that and I understood it immediately. I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't just give everybody $1 billion. Like, because yeah. Like,
No, I did the math and it's like $28 per person if you divide the whole 200 million amongst 7 million, or no, 200 billion amongst 7 billion people. But it's
that's how
like,
much people are in this world? Jesus Christ. Man.
I guess so, according to that meme. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a lot of people. I mean, I know there's like 327 million in America. Don't mind me. Like, I'm
Like
like
350
weird with numbers.
million, yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. I think I remember doing the math one day for vaccines. I was like, all right, so if we get to like 90%, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, come on, let's go. I'm like watching like the numbers go up for people getting vaccinated. I'm like, why are we so slow? I'm like, oh, I know why.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can never have too much faith in a large population like that. You gotta have low expectations.
Yeah, especially in this country. Jesus Christ.
Let's
Like,
shoot for 50%. Let's.
that's I guess the best that we can go for. That's cool. Any features? Any featured vocalists? Any featured musicians?
I have one that I really want, but I don't want to say it yet.
That was totally cool. That was totally cool. But that makes it even more of a hyper situation.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Now I'm gonna be thinking on that for a little bit. Now I'm gonna be thinking like, what the fuck is it? I did that
It's
with
someone we're friends with.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be too hard to get.
All right, I feel you. I think I know who it is, but I'm just gonna.
Probably.
I'm just stop. I guessed for Jared. I was like, I'm pretty sure you guys got signed, and he's like, maybe we'll see. And I was like, okay. So I was like, who is it? Is it Hopeless? I was like, hold on, wait, is it Equal Vision? I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. I was like, is it Pure Noise? I was like, that could make sense. But I was wrong. It was Epitaph. So
Ooh.
like, I was somewhat close. I don't know. I was on the verge of something, but it got signed, which is so fucking cool. Yeah, I'm super excited for this band. I'm super excited for the opportunities that you're going to be having in the near future with the touring and the release of this EP. And I really appreciate all 3 of you coming by to chat and talk about it. This is a super hype fucking song, and you know, I think I'm just gonna play it again just for, you know, shits and giggles, because this shit's so fucking good. Actually, I'm gonna play the breakdown right now.
Red reflection of the snow, the ice, never there.